What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Iris.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Let's kick it off. Johnny. Let him know the big news. What were you doing last night?
Man, your boy is officially a master's in business administration. Last night I had my graduation. Wild to think about. Time went by really quick, but hey, I'm ready to be done at the same time.
Definitely. That's 6 years now complete.
6 years of college. I mean, it's kind of crazy because it's like all I've known is school, and so I'm ready to just be done with it. Like I've been ready for a minute, but definitely ready now.
That's like 25% of your life. Kind of crazy to think about.
That is crazy. That is 20. I mean, like school in general has been like my entire life.
Yeah, no.
So it's
school
just
is way more than that.
Damn, it is crazy. But yeah, also got to give you some congrats here on your associates. It's pretty good too. So shout out to you.
Yeah, getting it done May 20th. If any fans want to come out, I got limited tickets, so let me know.
Fire.
Moving on though, while you're graduating, it's taking care of business. We talk about superhero movies on here, so I had to watch Doctor Strange. I think that's another one you need to watch. You need to either pirate it with Devin or go to the movie theaters and watch it. It was a fire movie. So
yeah, I actually had an offer to go on Thursday and I turned it down. So I was like, do I need to have seen the other movies to like get it? And I heard probably not, but I was like, whatever. I also was supposed to get my wisdom teeth taken out I was supposed to have a consultation or whatever on Thursday, and I had to cancel for whatever. So that's why I said no, or else I probably would have just gone anyway. But because I did see Avengers Endgame after not seeing any other movies, so I don't think this one.
I don't know. This one I'd do like a little refresher video or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a what's going on or what to see before Doctor Strange. That'd be not necessarily have to watch it, but
understand a little bit. No, I feel that. I mean, we got a little bit of other news here. Speaking of wisdom teeth, we were supposed to go see Action Bronson, Earl Sweatshirt, Boldy James, and the Alchemist yesterday on Friday. Action Bronson also getting his wisdom teeth out, so he was unable to perform. Show got canceled. It kind of worked out because I was debating whether I was going to go to my graduation or go to the concert, and I was kind of leaning concert because I really want to see Earl. So at least I got my moment in my graduation. That's cool. So yeah,
definitely. That was a tough decision. I was trying to keep tabs on you throughout the week, and then once all that went down, it's the wisdom teeth are like prevalent right now because like mine are coming in so bad, but with mine they can't take them out they're too far down, I guess. It like cut up nerves and everything. So
damn.
Yeah, wisdom teeth they're winning May so far.
I guess so. Yeah, I was supposed to get mine out like 2 years ago and I didn't do it because they told me it was optional, and then all of a sudden they're like, you need to get them out, and I'm like, that's not what I heard 2 years ago. Also, I kind of was lacking, shout out to COVID, but I wasn't at the dentist like during COVID, so I was lacking. But then when I hit the dentist, they were like, you got to get them out. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But then I feel like it's such a commitment because I don't know, you don't know how long the like recovery is gonna be. It could be a day, it could be 3 days, it could be 5 days, whatever. I got stuff going on. Like I just, especially like with school. So now I'm like, I just want to get them done and do whatever.
Definitely, that's something I'm glad I don't have to deal with, but it's kind of just a burden just to have them just coming in. So kind of sucks, but
yeah,
I'll live, I guess.
Tough. But I'm getting mine out on May 18th. So it's like right before my graduation party. And I'm just like, man, I hope I'm good.
Ooh.
I know that's bold, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I know. I saw on TikTok that if you drink pineapple juice, you're supposed to be good. So I hope I'm good. I don't know.
Our producer was he was chugging those things in our PlayStation party, and he was still out for at least a few days. So
I know I might have to reschedule again. So we'll see. But tentatively May 18th. So prayers up in the chat for your boy.
All right, enough wisdom teeth talk. Let's get into the topic for this week. For our topic, we will have 10 songs you need in your summer playlist. Why don't you kick it off, Johnny?
All right. The first song I went with, this is the ultimate summer song. This fits just about anything you could be doing during the summer, riding around, windows down, at a party, anything you want to do. It's Slide, Calvin Harris, Frank Ocean, Amigos. This is the ultimate summer song. Like, in our generation, there's really no summer song that comes close to this. I don't think. Like Frank just goes crazy with the auto-tuned vocals, and then all the Migos kill their verses. Great song.
No, definitely a great choice there. And like you said, that could be the summer song of our generation there. And I wouldn't argue with that pick. I felt like with a lot of our picks, we're trying to go. You kind of went with where they'd be, they can fit any mood. Kind of have specific moods for mine, so we'll just get into that a little bit and explain it a little bit after our picks.
Yeah, I just kind of think summer just has a certain feeling. No matter what you're doing, summer has a feeling, especially when you're younger. As you get older, I kind of feel like it depends on the day, it depends what you're doing. But like when you're younger, summer is just summer, and everything you do kind of has the same feeling. Like just like no obligations, you're just free from school, from whatever. So it's just kind of a good vibe, and I think there's a lot of songs that fit that.
Definitely, I think a lot of my songs will fit that mold as well. So, but moving into my first track here, I had Lemonade off the new Vince Staples project featuring Ty Dolla $ign. I mean, self-explanatory enough. Sitting back with an ice cold lemonade I don't drink lemonade, but that would bang to it, of course.
I love a nice lemonade. I just had one yesterday, actually. So I definitely agree. I almost picked Lemonade by Internet Money, Don Toliver, all them.
That's a summer banger. That is,
especially like last summer, or I think it was last summer, it was popular. I was listening to that all the time as a hit.
Yeah, no. So I mean, like, funny enough with Lemonade, when I had to have my appendix out when I was in like 6th grade, and they made me drink this sour ass lemonade. Like, it was to clear my stomach. It wasn't lemonade, but it tasted like it. And just ever since, I can't vibe with the lemonade, but maybe I'll overcome my fear with that track playing.
I think you're gonna have to. I think the proper way to do it would also be to like put down a nice lyrical lemonade. Those just hit a little bit different.
Definitely, that may be in the works then.
I have like a box of them, and they're like a celebration drink. Like I've had the same box of 4 for like 2 years now, at least, or I don't know. I got them like when they first dropped. They're like a celebration drink. Like I think I drank one like on Christmas one year, like after one of my graduations. Like they're just a celebration drink. So maybe I'll treat myself to one this weekend.
Definitely it fits the occasion there. But on that, I could do like a live video reaction of me drinking a lemonade, and it'd be awful.
I think that'd be really good. I have a video of one of our cousins. I don't want to like name drop the kid because like whatever, but one of our cousins eating a lemon. Do you remember this at Rudy's house when we were younger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Classic. It's actually the first video on my iPod Touch, so that's just like an interesting memory. So I think we did that video of you drinking the lemonade.
Maybe that's in the works too.
Anyway, let's move on here to my second pick. There's one producer that I think just makes some great music for summertime. That's Kaytranada. Kaytranada, just some of the best production for just good vibes. And I had to go with a recent drop. I feel like I have a mix of some old, a couple new, but mostly old. But this is a new one that just dropped this week. We'll get into the thoughts on the album a little bit later, but I had to go with Zaza Tree by IDK and Kaytranada. Just a great vibe song. I feel like you could just, enjoy this one just about anywhere, just riding around. Great song.
Definitely. That's a great vibe album that they dropped, but like you said, we'll get into that a little bit later. For my second choice here, I went with Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's just like that one you could be anywhere with that. I mean, maybe not at a party. That's the exemption there, but like just sitting around, swimming in the pool, walking around the park, playing basketball, like that one is always going to hit for me at least. So
that does hit. I love a good Red Hot Chili Peppers song. I had like a big Red Hot Chili Peppers phase, like 2016 probably. I feel like I was listening to them a lot. Yeah, so I like that pick. I feel like it's a perfect like ride around song. Definitely. Kind of fits some different moods, different type of the day too, depending on where you're going for. I think that's a good pick. My next pick here, though, I went with "What's Your Name" by Tyler the Creator and Youngboy, Ty Dolla $ign. It's a hit. This is another one that I think everybody loves for the most part. Just a good vibe song. Youngboy goes crazy. I love a good like singing type song for the summer.
Yeah,
and I think this is that. So yeah.
So I mean, in our first 2 out of our 5 picks, we have Ty Dolla $ign on the feature here. Is he the feature artist of the summer?
I think he's just the feature artist.
Yeah, no, he fits the summer well with what he does. So, and he's also, you know, a great feature artist, like you said. So
Yeah, he's just different. I mean, he's the cheat code on the features. So definitely.
for my third track here, I had Puffin' on Zooties by Future. Definitely the biggest banger on that album. Maybe not my favorite song off the album, but that one is a certified banger. You could play it, you know, at the park hooping, at the parties, on the way to the parties. I mean, that's just a certified banger, like I said.
I love that pick. That was my favorite song from the album, actually. So yeah, I like that pick. Speaking of, you know, you're talking about you can play it hooping at the park. I gotta make a new hoop playlist.
Yeah, you'll have to get that updated.
Maybe that should be an episode. Maybe in 2 weeks from now we can do a hoop episode, because my playlist was deep for last summer. I wasn't trying to hit repeats. Like I think it was like 14 hours long, because you know we'd be out there for a couple hours a night. I didn't even want to hit the same song in the same week. I wanted fresh every time for the most part. And I think, you know, we did a decent job of that, but yeah, we'll have to get a new one made for the summer.
Definitely, you know, that was a little collab Spotify playlist we had there. You did most of the work, but you know, I threw in some tracks. So
Facts. We couldn't make it collaborative for everybody because I don't want some people putting their music on. But
no, yeah, no, we'll keep it between us to control the music. You know, you're bringing the speaker, so you got all the say.
Oh, facts. Especially, you know, but if somebody, you know, out there that hoops with us has a song they want to put on, let us know. We'll get it on. I trust, if you listen to the podcast, I trust your taste, but some of these other people, no shot.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. We're taking requests now.
Okay, so the next song I went with was Only You by Theophilus London featuring Tame Impala. This song is fire. Tame Impala just obviously does his thing on the indie scene, and he just kills the production of this song. And Theophilus London does his thing too. It's just a great sing-along type, good vibe song. I love it.
Definitely, that is a great choice there. Tame Impala, another one that, you know, fits the summer vibe perfect there.
Definitely. He has a lot of different vibes, I feel like, but he just, I don't know, the type of music he makes just fits summer for sure.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to my fifth track here. It's kind of a deep cutter here. This is like a late night ride around or ride back from a party or something. This is not one that's gonna fit every mood. But for this one, I went with Diamonds by Danger Incorporated. We haven't gotten to into them too much, you know, very pretty underground there, but that is a certified banger. I just said about Puffin' on Zooties, but this is for a different mood, of course. But this one will always hit on a late night drive for me. We just had this on a late night drive, actually.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, we got to enjoy this one on the way back from the Baby Keem concert at like 3 a.m, and it just hit. Like
it was like the last track too. It was perfect.
It was great because I knew you liked it, so I had it in the playlist, and we hadn't got to it. So I think I might have even skipped a couple spots to hit it because I wanted to listen to it because I haven't heard it in a minute. I listened to them a lot in like 2018, 19 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of fell off on them. And then I saw it when I was like making the playlist and I was like, I need that. So yeah, that was a great song. I love that pick.
Yeah, it's a deep cutting drive back for sure.
Yeah, when I was like thinking about this playlist, I was like, what's the first song? What's the last song going to be? And I feel like that'd be a great last song on the playlist.
There you go. Yeah, that's like getting out of your car.
Definitely. Moving on here to my next song, I went with 1999 Wildfire by Brockhampton. This to me is another just summer classic. It dropped in the summer or like May at least, I think. And I just love this track. Like, I don't know, it's just such a good vibe. And then it kind of has that switch up into that singing part at the end, and it's just great.
Great choice there. You know, they didn't make my list as much as I wanted them to. You know, I feel like we've been talking about them a lot. So hopefully they provide me with a summer banger soon.
No, we definitely been talking about them a lot. And I was kind of between a couple. I was between this one and Boys and a couple others. But
yeah, no, there's so many summer songs that they could go with. So
even Summer, the song, like that's like class. That would be like the end of the playlist if I was going to make that. But yeah, I didn't.
Summer self-titled track by Brockhampton, Summer. So
facts.
All right, for my second fifth choice here, I messed up a little bit back there. I went with Churchill Downs by Jack Harlow featuring Drake. You know, I feel like any song those two put together has got to be a summer banger. And I mean, it did that for me. We'll get into the album review a little bit later, but that song definitely did it for me.
That song does slap. But that's like that is late night summer to me. That perfectly fits late night summer. There's some like daytime swimming in the pool, beach, driving type summer songs, and then there's like late night summer songs. That would be a late night summer song. I think that's
No, definitely. That's
classic. Some introspective bars, great song. But for my next pick here, I had The Waters by Anderson .Paak and BJ the Chicago Kid. We're talking about Ty Dolla $ign being a featured cheat code. I think BJ the Chicago Kid is also in that conversation. He's a pretty underrated artist, underrated feature, but I feel like whenever he pops up, I love to hear BJ the Chicago Kid. And obviously Anderson .Paak is another artist that just has that summer vibe. We talk about like Tame Impala having that summer vibe with all the music they make for the most part. Anderson .Paak is the same way. I feel like I was also debating like a Silk Sonic song, but I had to go with that solo Anderson .Paak music. He just, he's from California. He's got different project named after the cities in California. This is off of Malibu. I think you could play like just about any song off that project that would fit the summer vibe, but I ended up going with this one.
definitely great. Another great choice there. I feel like this playlist, it's gonna have to get added to my personal playlist, and I'll have to bang it all summer, of course.
Absolutely.
So for my sixth choice here, finally, this one, I have Drama by Drake, or by Roy Woods featuring Drake. I remember it was quarantine, and the weather had just warmed up, and I was just riding around with my windows down, and this came on, and it was just perfect. So every summer since, I've had to, I guess it's just been one summer since, but every, like, the first warm day where I can cruise my windows down, it's got to be the first track I play.
I like that pick. I feel like my song of that would be Novocaine. Like that's like when it's nice out, I just love rolling the windows down, just jamming Novocaine. I didn't make my playlist because I went with Slide for the like Frank Ocean part, but Novocaine just hits. And I do love Drama. Drama's a great pick. That's another one of those late night summer vibes. I like that because I don't have too many like the late night type summer vibes, I feel like. So I think you added that and I like that.
Definitely, definitely just a great track to cruise around to. So
for sure. Let's move on to my next pick, though. I went with Wow Freestyle by J-Rock featuring Kendrick Lamar. This, to me, is, you were talking about like playing basketball to a song and just it being hot out. I think of this. I just think of like 90-degree days outside, windows down, but it's still a little bit hot. Maybe hooping, you're just having a good time. Wow Freestyle. Fits any vibe, I think, in the summer, and I love it.
I agree with you on that one there. Moving on here, I have Rock and Roll by Pusha T featuring Kanye and Kid Cudi. I mean, that's another one that could fit a lot of moods for me, especially. And I mean, killed it with that track. I love the beat they have on there and everything that's going on. So, I mean, that's what it fits for me.
I love that. I was trying to look through the like recent releases to pick a song, and I was debating some Pusha T, but then I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, Pusha T's got the Coke bars, he's got the hard production, I kind of like more like upbeat type, good vibes production. And I'm not saying that doesn't fit the summer vibe, but I like that pick. It just didn't make my list. My next pick, though, I was Stuck on Central by Buddy. Buddy is an artist that I feel like I never listened to. Obviously, he had his bigger hit with Shine a couple years back. And then I, didn't really pay attention to what he was doing. And then all of a sudden, my guy Kerwin Frost was doing his telethon during COVID to raise some money. And he had different artists come on and perform, and Buddy performed. And I was just watching everybody perform. So I of course, checked it out. And he did his song Stuck on Central. And that might be like one of my favorite first listens ever. Like, it was obviously live, so it's not the same as, the recording you would get on Spotify or whatever. But it's just such a good song, great beat. West Coast type production, love it.
Definitely another great track there. For mine, though, I went with Sanguine Paradise by Lil Uzi Vert. I feel like that is a perfect party track for me. That's what I like to spend a little bit of my summer doing, a little fraction of it, and that's a perfect one for me. That's always gonna bang when it comes on. So
that's a great pick. That song reminds me, I think it was my junior year of college, like the end of my junior year of college. I feel like we would bump that all the time. Like, we were about ready to go to a party, we'd be bumping that. And I agree, it does fit the party vibe. So great pick. My next pick, though, I went with Hollandaise by Absol. This is a newer song. I feel like if you asked me a couple weeks ago, hey, you're going to make a summer playlist, what song do you want? I don't think I ever would have thought an Absol song. But this song, the production is just so good. It really fits that like upbeat type summer vibe I feel like I go for when I'm making this playlist. And he does a great job rapping, of course. You know, you're going to get that with Absol. But yeah, good. I love this song.
That's an interesting pick. You know, not expecting Absol to make your side of the playlist, and definitely probably not mine. So
yeah, it's just random. I've been bumping it all the time. I just listened to it today. I went and hooped this morning, and I was listening to it on the way back, and it hit. And I was like, okay, this is going to be the playlist.
definitely. So for my next track here, I have Remember by Nigo featuring Pop Smoke. I mean, Pop Smoke just in Vermilion County, especially 2020 summer, he ran it. You know, he was the guy to be bumping it everywhere. So, I mean, I had to show him some love here for the summer, of course. I wanted to go with an older track, but I went with something pretty newly released here. So,
Respect. That was one thing. Like when Pop Smoke died, like obviously I knew who he was and listened to some of his songs, but I wasn't like, you know, crazy into Pop Smoke. But I feel like everything I saw on Snapchat was like, my favorite rapper's dead. And I was like, what do you mean? Like you listen to Pop Smoke? That just blew my mind. Like and I feel like there's other rappers that died that people have just gone crazy about that I'm like shocked that they listen to. Like I think some people posted about Young Dolph dying. I'm not saying Young Dolph's not a good artist that people were mourning the loss of, but I didn't think Hoopston would be. I didn't think Vermilion County would be. These white kids just apparently love this hard rap, and I didn't know they had it like that.
Me either. Hey, to each their own, you know. It doesn't matter what you look like to listen to what music you like, you know.
I guess, but to connect with, I feel like you gotta kind of fit some different categories, and I feel like some of them don't. But whatever. Anyway, I'll move on here to my last pick. I went with Gray Area by Kaytranada and Mick Jenkins. This was my top listened to song on Spotify Wrapped a couple of years ago. I love this song. I think it was 2020 Spotify Wrapped. It was my top song. Mick Jenkins is just such an underrated rapper. Kaytranada, as I said earlier, kills the production on anything he does, which, you know, we're going to get into a little bit later when we talk about this Simple project with IDK as well. But Gray Area might be like one of my favorite songs of all time. Great beat, just super like bouncy. And Mick Jenkins does his thing over this beat. Love it.
Definitely great track there as well. For my last one here, this is like the perfect closer to this playlist, even or to any summer night. Well, the good ones, I guess. We have not talked about him very, very much, this artist, but I went with Hell of a Night by Schoolboy Q. He has not made it too much into the podcast, but Oxymoron, that's a classic. Blank Face LP, that's another classic there. So, I mean, classics in my mind, you know, maybe not by the general public, but
yeah.
Hell of a Night, just banger track, perfect ending for me. What are your thoughts on that?
I love that. That's what I liked about doing this episode. I like being able to mention these different artists that we might not have mentioned a lot in the past. Like we haven't talked about Danger Incorporated before, really. We haven't talked about some of these other artists. So Schoolboy Q, I was gonna mention Schoolboy Q when I said my Beat the Chicago Kid part.
That was when I was gonna mention him too.
I was thinking of it, and I was like, oh my god, that's great. Because I was like, he's a cheat code for features. Look at Studio with Schoolboy Q. Mm-hmm. And then sure enough, you pick a different Schoolboy Q check. So great pick. That is a late night, end of the night vibe. That's a good one. I feel like that album, when it first dropped, Oxymoron was just hits. I loved Oxymoron.
Yeah, it's still a hit for me. I remember I had it in my cart to get the vinyl, and I just didn't end up doing it now. Can't find him anywhere, but that'd be a nice one to have back on the wall there.
That would be a good one. It has a good cover too. So, you know, it's a good touch. But yeah, I think that just about wraps up this section of the podcast. You know, I really enjoyed making this playlist. I think it's going to be really good. I like the vibes we both picked here. I think with the right sequencing, it's going to be a really good playlist. But with that being said, make sure to give us a follow on Spotify. We're going to drop this playlist on our Spotify at Second Avenue Podcast. The link is in our Instagram bio. Of course, that is also Second Avenue Pod. Drop us a follow while you're there, you know. You got to remind them again, the giveaway is still active until we hit 200 followers. Go enter. We're giving away Good Kid, Mad City, and Kids See Ghosts on vinyl, along with a record player. This is the perfect giveaway for any new person getting into the vinyl game or any person looking to take it to the next level. Go enter. All I gotta do is share the post, like the post, comment and tag some friends. And then, yeah, make sure to go drop us a follow on Spotify for this playlist. Elijah will drop it on his personal Apple Music as well. And so if you're on either one, you can get it. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good playlist, I think. What do you think? I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, no, I think we meshed that really well. We both, came with all different kinds of music there. So, well, not all different kinds of music, all different kinds of vibes. I'll correct myself there, but I'm very excited to see what this playlist sounds like all together.
I don't know. I would say we came with different types of music too, though. I mean, you came with like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We obviously have the rap, but I also feel like we got kind of like an R&B slower vibe with like the Anderson .Paak. Danger Incorporates a little bit not like mainstream rap, and then you got like the Theophilus London, Tame Impala, Kate type stuff. So I feel like we do have some, a lot of different types. I like that though. I like it. It's gonna be good.
Definitely, it's good to have a well-rounded playlist, especially for something like summer. So
absolutely. But let's move into this week's news. We got to start with the new releases this week. There were two big releases this week, and those were Jack Harlow, Come Home, The Kids Miss You, and IDK with his project Simple, produced by Kate. Let's start with the Jack Harlow album, though. What did you think of this project?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's getting a lot of hate. I don't, Jack Harlow is never going to release a classic album. He's never going to have a certified classic like, the Drakes, the Kanyes, the Travises, but I mean, I liked what he did. It's a solid enough Jack Harlow project.
I will say right there, when you talk about the Travises, the Kanyes, whatever, that reminds me of the Jack Harlow video from, I think he was in it was that Celebrity Basketball League, if you ever saw that, and they were interviewing him, and he was like, I always looked up to the Kanyes, the Drakes, the YK Osiris's, because I think his team was playing YK Osiris. Great video. But no, yeah, like you said, I mean, he's not going to have a classic anytime in the near future. Doing what he does right now, I just can't see a classic. He might have classic songs in some people's minds, just because they're such big hits, but I don't think he'll ever put together a classic project at the trajectory he's on right now. I don't know, though. I just kind of thought this album was boring. Like, it was only like 45 minutes long, I think, but it kind of felt longer, like in a bad way. Sometimes albums you're like excited that they aren't over, and then this one I was like, I wish this like was almost on the Big Day level first listen. Like, I just struggled to get through it.
I mean, but when I think of artists that I can listen to the album, beginning to ending, Jack Harlow does not fit that mold. We've talked about it, guys like 504, and you can't go through a whole 504 album and listen to every single song. Like, I don't know. My thing with Jack, like, I feel like he's getting a lot of hate, getting blasted on social media, but people were expecting like this masterpiece of an album, and that's just not the type of music that I associate with him with, at least.
I get that, but I feel like he's shown he can do it at times. And so it's like, I just wish he'd put together for a full project. Like, I feel like his last album was actually pretty good all the way through. Yeah. So like, I think saying that he can't put together a full album is like, I don't know, it's kind of a stretch, because I feel like the last album was pretty good throughout, and this one just didn't do it for me. Like, I feel like J. Cole used to talk about how sleepy his music was, and it's put me to sleep. Like, people be like, oh, I'm listening to J. Cole album, they just put like memes of people sleeping. I feel that's how I felt with this. I mean, obviously I listened to it like, I listened to IDK first, and I listened to this right after it dropped at 11. But I don't know. I was like pretty just disinterested in the album. But I think the thing I saw that kind of just puts everything together was this TikTok. Somebody said, Jack Harlow makes pop rap. More devoted rap listeners will find him boring to okay. The average rap listener will find him good to great. And the average non-rap listener will probably have him as their favorite rapper. And I kind of thought that was a really good quote. And I absolutely understand what they're saying.
Yeah, no, that I definitely, you're on the boring spectrum there. I'm on the okay spectrum there for the more devoted rap listeners. Like, I don't know. Like, I think it was Hip Hop Numbers Plus maybe just fucking shit on him. And I was just like, I don't know if it's deserving of that.
I don't know. Like the other thing was, he said before the album dropped, features only or legends only on the features.
Who
And
wasn't a legend?
no, they were all legends.
Yeah.
But I don't think they did their thing as well as they could have, and they didn't fit as well as I hoped. Like, they were absolutely all legends. You look at all those features, I was excited. I'm not saying they're not legends. They are. Every single person on the album that was featured was a legend. Drake, Snoop Dogg with slight vocals, Lil Wayne, Justin Timberlake, Pharrell, legends. But some of them, like, I just couldn't get into. Like, the Drake feature, though, obviously was the best part of the album to me. That was crazy. Drake did his thing. So anything I say about the features here, I'm not saying about Drake. But I thought the song with Lil Wayne was like,
I agree with you on that.
I thought Pharrell, even, like, you look at what Pharrell was able to do with Tyler on Call Me If You Get Lost on Juggernaut. When Pharrell and Tyler get together, like, you get something special, unique. And I feel like, the beat was interesting, I guess, on the Pharrell song with Jack Harlow, but I just don't think either of them like went that crazy on it. Like, it was just okay to me. I don't know. But then, like, on that song, Jack Harlow says, I'd like to dictate things, Kim Jong. And I'm just like, Jack, what are you doing, bud? Like, that's just not it.
That's not a bar.
And then you kind of move into like the song with Justin Timberlake. At first, I thought that song was going to hit. I was enjoying Jack's first verse. He had some good lines. I actually really loved. He said, "I'm a journeyman, Jarrett Jack." I went crazy. We've talked before. I love a good NBA reference. And I think Jack has some good NBA references for sure. But then Justin Timberlake came in and I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, Justin Timberlake, obviously great singer. I just didn't really think it went that well together.
Damn.
And then Jack Harlow gave a line that I cringed at. The squares hate the prom king. That line alone just gave me MGK vibes. Like, everybody makes fun of MGK, like, oh, he's like stuck in high school. He's writing songs for high schoolers. He's talking about prom and homecoming as like a 30 whatever year old man with bleached hair. And that's kind of the energy I got from some of these moments on the Jack Harlow album.
Well, I was just about to go on about how I really enjoyed Parent Trap, and that was probably my favorite. That was probably my favorite song off the album. Maybe, I'm just biased for Timberlake because, I can always bang a good Justin Timberlake song. But I mean, I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought it was pretty decent, but
I don't know. I liked the first verse. I will say I like the first verse, and I like the switch up a little bit, but I don't know. I didn't think Justin went crazy like I had hoped he would have. So it was okay. Like, that was the whole album. It was okay. Like, I don't think I'm going to be going back to it often. I'll go back to Churchill Downs. I do love that Churchill Downs is the name of the song because of the Kentucky Derby is this weekend. So that's fire. Love a good little, strategic plan with that. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's just okay.
Yeah. I respect your opinion, of course. And I'm with you there. It's okay. It'd probably be 5-6 range for me.
It'd be a little lower for me, but that's nothing wrong with that. Can't all be 10s.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Anyway, let's move on here to this IDK project, Simple, with production from K Tronada. What do you think of this project?
I liked it a lot, really upbeat, like you're saying, a lot of summer bangers on there, I felt like. And I think, IDK killed it with this one. He had the better album of the night, I will say.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any arguing that.
No, I love this project. I think IDK did his thing. K Tronada did his thing. Obviously, it was a pretty short project, little EP basically, but it's definitely a good project to hold you over from You See For Yourself to whatever the next project's going to be here from IDK. But I love some of these songs. Obviously, 2 of these songs released previously, Taco and Dog Food with Denzel Curry. But then you get that new song with Mike Dimes. That was fire. Breathe, which had kind of been teased on social media. That was fire. Zaza Tree, like I mentioned earlier. And then Drugstore was also one of my favorites. I guess basically everything I've said is one of my
that was
so
you went pretty deep there. But I like the opening track, Drugstore, and then like you said, I like the features as well. I'm with you on that. I feel like a lot of these, they'll just consistently stay in the playlist, and a couple of years down the line, once they come on and shuffle, I'll be very satisfied.
Definitely. but this, I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me of like Silk Sonic. Like Silk Sonic was a pretty short project, and they released like 2 songs beforehand, maybe more actually. I think they had Skate and Leave the Door Open and maybe another one. But then like there's only a couple new songs, and that's kind of how I felt with this one. Like I was like, man, I just want more, which is a good thing. I think you want to leave your fans like wanting more. So I think he did a good job with that.
Definitely. I like when artists do smaller sample sizes, shorter albums, 7 to 8 track albums. I usually enjoy those more than I do the 20 track projects. So.
No, I would agree. I think like a sweet spot is like 12 to me. But I thought that this one was perfect because I think, the next album's gonna be a big one for IDK. So I think this was just like the perfect holdover, and everybody's gonna be, ready for the next one whenever they get it. So now moving into some singles from this week, we had DMB by A$AP Rocky, Therapy Music by Logic featuring Russ, Good Memories by Lucky, Borrow by Casey, and a couple others, but we thought these were some of the big standouts here. Did you give any of these a listen? And if so, what did you think?
I really enjoyed the video for DMB by A$AP Rocky. I thought it was really well put together and everything. I thought we were going to get a Rihanna feature just from like the cover that he had released with her on it, but I was kind of optimistic on that, but of course it never came. But I mean, just a solid track for Rocky there. And then I also gave Therapy Music by Logic a listen. It was okay. I mean, my feelings towards Logic. That was one of my guys back in the day, though. That's what I'll say on that.
Yeah, I listened to Therapy Music as well. I'm a notorious, I won't say Russ hater, but I'm not like a big Russ fan. I feel like he's like, I will say he's probably like overhated now. Like I feel like everybody turns on Russ very easily. He's okay. I just don't got him to listen to his music, and that's fine. He doesn't, make music for me. So whatever. But I thought that song was decent. And then DMB though, like you said, that was fire. A$AP Rocky always kills the visuals, and this is no exception.
Definitely, I agree with you on that one. I love the little grill that they did. That was pretty cool, even though they weren't actually married. So my chance is still out there, but
yes,
that's besides the point.
No, the grill shot was fire, and that's just I like a good creative shot. And we'll get into another creative music video here in a little bit.
A little hometown shout out here for the guy. Shout out our boy Garcia. He just dropped $1,000 plates on all platforms. Banger of a track. I gotta say he's been killing it recently. So shout out our boy. Give that a listen. He's got an EP dropping soon as well. So
definitely a good track. And then we're ready for the EP. I heard he's doing a little release party as well. So I think we're going to pop out for that.
Definitely. And who knows, we may get him on an episode here soon. So
we might have to. But I also got to give a special shout out to my classmate Neems from No Label Academy. She just dropped a track called Toxic Attachments as well. So gotta show some love to both of our, friends of the program.
Definitely. Yeah. And we wouldn't be putting you guys on stuff if we didn't also, bump it as well. So definitely worth the listen on both of those.
Facts.
Moving on though to our weekly news. Logic's Vinyl Days project will be 30 songs with 7 skits with appearances from Funkmaster Flex, Morgan Freeman, Action Bronson, RZA, Rain Wilson, Earl Sweatshirt, Nardwar, The Game, Anthony Fontano, and obviously a lot more than I just said there. Some are just showing love, just getting vocals on there, or not vocals, but voiceovers on there, but a lot of them are rapping. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw Logic talk about this in a TikTok. Somebody took a screen recording of some, I don't know if it was Instagram Live, TikTok Live or something, but it was Logic talking about all these different appearances that are coming on this project. That was just some of the names. There are like 20 more that we didn't say because we don't want to list all of them, but these are some of the notable ones. But it was funny because he was like, some are just showing love and others are rapping. Many of them are rapping. And so I just love to picture a world where like Anthony Fantano is going to rap on this project, or like Nardwar is going to rap. Obviously, those are going to be some of the ones that are just showing love, I would assume. But it would be hilarious if they were some of the ones rapping. But it is pretty wild. Like, if you would have asked me a month ago if I expected a Logic project to have Earl Sweatshirt and Dwight Schrute on it, I would have called you crazy.
Definitely.
But I think we're going to get it, and it's going to be wild.
No, yeah, the Dwight one's out there. Aaron Judge was another one. I heard him say that. I was like, what? So I'm interested to see how he incorporates a lot of these. But
Yeah, I will say Logic, I feel like he does pretty well with sculpting concept, and I think this could be, a pretty good
Yeah,
one. Especially, I like the Vinyl Days concept too. I feel like just, I like the name, and I think this could be a good project. 30 songs obviously is pretty long. 7 skits though, so it's really only just over 20 songs. But still, and I also feel like Vinyl Days, I don't know why, but it gives me like boom bap hip hop type vibe, which I don't think those are like short songs. I don't picture boom bap songs as short. Those are like 3-4 minute songs in my head. So I think it's gonna be a longer album. Nothing wrong with that though. So we'll see how Logic does on this one.
definitely. He's had narration through a lot of his projects. Are we gonna get that Morgan Freeman narration, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. He said I think it was hosted by Funkmaster Flex.
Oh,
So
okay.
so I think he'll be the like
Yeah, I got you.
continuous voice throughout all the tracks. Um, but I mean, just having Morgan Freeman on the project is fire. You saw what he did on Savage Mode too. So I think this will be, could be great. We'll see.
Definitely. Moving on here. Pusha T debuting at number 1, selling 55,000 units this week. What are your thoughts on that?
I love to see it. Pusha T delivered a great project yet again. And so him getting the number 1 spot at the first of his career, we talked last week about how it was, probable and possible, but now just to actually see it, it's great. I love it. Congratulations, Pusha T.
Definitely well deserved there from.
So I don't think we can do this episode without talking about Kendrick Lamar. It is one short week until Kendrick Lamar returns with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And he's been using his website to kind of tease some different things about this project. It's still a mystery. We don't really know what we're going to get with this project in any shape, really. But he did post a picture of him holding 2 CDs. One said Morale, one said Steppers, hinting at the idea of a double album. Do you think we're a double album from Kendrick? And if so, what do you expect for this double album?
I don't know. I mean, you can never be too sure, of course. Kendrick's one of the, he's going to hold his cards close. So, I mean, at this point, I would expect a double album, but I also would not be surprised if we don't get a double album here.
Yeah, I think that's the best way you could put it. I think it's possible, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. So I agree. I'm hopeful though. I hope that we do get it. I obviously would love as much music as we get from Kendrick because we don't know how much more we're going to get after this project. So yeah, I'm excited. I think it could be a great project. I would love if he, I think a double album is a great way for an artist to, do something comfortable and then kind of do something a little bit more out there and out of the ordinary for what they do. So if Kendrick did rapping traditionally on one side of the project and then on the other disc, he's just doing some like, singing something else like that we haven't seen before. I think that could be, really cool because I trust Kendrick and what he would put out that it'd be good. So yeah, we'll see.
Definitely. And, I can't remember if this is like a personal hot take or we had this in a video, but my hot take on this is Kendrick Lamar's final album. We will not get another project from him.
That is definitely a hot take. I obviously hope that's not the case. And I mean, obviously it's kind of tough because it is his last album with TDE. So you're like, okay, he's going to release something else, just not with TDE. But then it's like, maybe he's just going to take like a leadership role with PG Lang and just like be the big homie for Keem and Tana Leone and these other guys are going to sign in the future. So, I mean, we'll see.
Definitely. They're doing great things at PG Lang as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, if he's just the big homie, hops on a feature every once in a while, kind of slides back into like almost like a Dr. Dre role, where he's just featured here and there versus, consistently releasing music.
Facts. Talking about those good things that PG Lang is doing, just dropped a Converse shoe. That's pretty fire. I think anytime you get like a rap sneaker collab, it's a pretty dope moment. And PG Lang, pretty cool, especially for them so early in their time as a company. You love to see that.
Yeah, no, those kicks were fire too, big sneakerhead myself. And those may be a cop because I need like for Rolling Loud, I don't want something that I'm not going to wear a pair of Jordan 1s that I'm in a clean colorway or anything. But for those, I'd be okay with beating up a pair of Converse for like Rolling Loud, but still stepping out, of course.
Facts. Those are like a subtle flex. Like not everybody's gonna know what they are, but then the ones that do are like gonna be impressed.
Definitely.
But then the other thing with this Kendrick album rollout was there was a post on Reddit talking about the different themes of the Kendrick Lamar albums and how each one is related to a different form of media. You take a look at Section 80 and people say it's shaped after a book because there's some titles with chapter in them. And then you look at Good Kid Mad City, which is a movie. And I mean, that's the most obvious one of the bunch. And it is, just one of the best at being the type of media it's trying to convey, if that is a theory, because obviously that album is crazy and just is a movie. Then moving into To Pimp a Butterfly, that is a poem, and then you have Damn being a magazine. You can see that with the Time style font on the cover, and it kind of just pops with the different news, and it has like the news features on it as well, so or samples, I guess. So that's cool. And then the theory is that this album will be a play / theater type form of entertainment. What do you think about that idea?
I wouldn't be surprised, I feel like it's definitely got to fit some form. I feel like the theory is true. I agree with it completely. He's one of the biggest artists on, having these little Easter eggs throughout the album and everything. So that'd be one that I would, hopefully I'm expecting like a play or like a theater there. What are your thoughts though?
I think that'd be pretty dope. I think that'd be a very unique concept to bring to life. And I think Kendrick is, one of the ones that I would trust the most to do it and do it well. I always thought that would be kind of cool to do like either a full book or like play as a rap, basically like Hamilton, but not corny. Like if you were able to do like that well, I think that could be crazy. And so this is kind of similar to that. So I think that'd be a really cool idea.
Definitely. We'll just have to see what we get. It's by the next time we're recording, we'll have heard it. So,
and honestly, I feel like there's so many things that just don't seem like they're real until they actually happen. Like for me, graduating college, like it doesn't seem like I'm done, but now I just am, I guess. And that's the thing with Kendrick. Like it's not gonna feel real until it's playing on my headphones.
Yeah. My thing is it's a little more secure option than a guy like Kanye West who pushes his albums back consistently. I feel like, what I get what you're saying, but it's gonna be here Thursday. That's what like I have no worry about. It's gonna be here Thursday night.
No. Yeah, I have no worry that it's gonna come out, but it's just like it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Just because like it's not like there's a single, it's not like we know a lot about it. It's just so mysterious, so uncertain, but I'm so excited.
Definitely.
All right, well, let's move on here to the next piece of news for the week. Childish Gambino has his first #1 for the top album sales chart with Kawhi, a project that dropped back in 2014. It did 17,000 sales on Record Store Day. That was pretty cool to see. What do you think about this?
It's crazy to see, the amount of record sales, the influence they're having. Like Tyler just went #1 a couple weeks back because of it. And I mean, shout out Gambino there. It's crazy. It's crazy what the record sales are doing nowadays. It's kind of bringing back physical units to an extent. Of course, obviously you can't have a record out on release day, but
facts. I was a little bit confused about what this chart was like, because it's obviously like the #1 album, but it's like album sales. Like I think it's the most physical album sales of the week, maybe. Because I was trying to go click on the link and look at the chart, but then it was like this chart is for premium users only or something like that. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take the headline here and go with it. But anyway, I just thought it was pretty cool. I do like the way they did this album as well. There were 3 different colors of pressing, and you didn't know which one you were gonna get. So I was wondering if that maybe like encouraged people to buy multiple copies of the record, just hoping that they would get the one they wanted in one of the purchases.
Definitely, that's a fair point there on that. So
yeah, they had like blue and yellow, and then I think they had a blue and yellow like mix, and obviously I feel like that would be the coolest. So I feel like maybe people were trying to get that one. I wonder if they did like equal pressings of each, or if it was like one was more unique than the other. I don't know, but I thought all in all they were pretty cool. So I don't think anybody should be too mad if they got yellow and they wanted a different one. So
hey, personally, I love a good colored like pressing on there. Like the Mac Miller swimming one, it's blue disc, or the Jack Boys is like a bright yellow disc. So I mean, those just hit a little bit different when they're spinning.
Oh, absolutely. I think the colors are, it's a big part. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think you should be like mad if you get one.
Yeah, no,
like,
definitely.
I think they're all pretty dope and obviously cool colors.
It would kind of suck, there's some out of black pressing in there as well. So someone's getting nothing. That'd be a little dirty.
Yeah, if it was black versus color, that I would be hot over. But color versus color, it's whatever.
Moving on though, Future fucking killed it this week. 228,000 units first week. What are your thoughts on that?
This is crazy. Well deserved though. Future did a great job on this album. There's some great tracks. I feel like it was getting a lot of hype. So it's not shocking that he did this high of sales, but it's great to see. I love it. So shout out to the Toxic King Future.
Definitely, killed it with the project. But so we talked about it in the DM a little bit. So Future just did 230,000 units almost. What are your final predictions on what Kendrick's going to do first week?
Ooh, this is tough. So my thing is now, if it's a double album, you're going to get more songs. More songs, going to be more streams. It's so difficult to calculate the demand for this project because it's going to be so high because it's been so long since Kendrick dropped. But at the same time, Kendrick is like a rapper versus somebody like Drake that does pop, and everybody's listening to Drake. So I think I'm going to end. I think it's going to do 500,000 easy. So I'm going to say it's going to do 650.
Yeah, that's right where I'm at. I was at 450 to 600, but I'm gonna up it a little bit here. We'll go 500 to 650. That'd be my range I'd put it in. It's gonna be very close to, I think Certified Lover Boy did 620 something. It's gonna be very close to that, and obviously that is amazing album sales for first week. So
I think it could be even higher though at the same time.
Yeah, no, I would not be surprised if he goes platinum first week.
Especially if there's like an instant like hit that everybody's like bumping. I feel like that's obviously a big help because then that song would do crazy streams. Because I think as a whole, that's another thing about Kendrick. Like if there's a hit, it'll be big, and that song at least will give it a lot of weight to grow. But if the album is great and people are giving it multiple listens, that's going to be crazy for the numbers, which I think is going to happen. Like I think it's not going to be uncommon for people to listen to this album, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the first couple of days.
No, yeah, and it's not one of these mysterious rappers. It's Kendrick Lamar. This is one of the biggest names in music here. I think it just really factors on if he has that humble type track on there, because you saw what Jack Harlow did with First Class, how that was everywhere, like that when it released. So I think if we get a track like that, the sky's the limit on album sales.
Absolutely. But speaking on Future, let's talk about the Wait For You music video. I did like the song a lot when it dropped, and I feel like the music video made me love it even more. Like I've been listening to it like every day since the video came out. Did you have a chance to watch this music video yet?
I did. I thought they killed it. They're kind of getting trolled for the, what medieval gear they had on, but I thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't see anybody trolling them, but I thought it was fire. Like I love like the contrast between like Future and Drake and then like the medieval stuff. Like I talked about last week a little bit, like growing up, like I love the Chronicles of Narnia and like all that type of stuff. So like seeing it in the Future video was like fire. I also love like the idea of like somebody drinking lean out of like a chalice. Like that's just like a funny idea to me. So yeah, I thought the video was pretty dope.
That's just something you'd see in a Future video.
It is. The one thing I will say though, the like final shot where he's like killing the guy who's like been an op the whole video, that is like the worst fake blood splatter I've ever seen. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yeah, it was pretty tough on that.
But I was like, wait, what? Like it just confused me. But other than that, I thought it was a fire video. And obviously I love like them sending the like notes back and forth, like the scrolls or whatever you call them, and just using like the old English type dialogue. That was fire.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of thought put into it, and I feel like Future is one of those artists that can do whatever he wants with his videos.
Facts. And obviously him and Drake could just do a video of them just like sitting there in a Lambo or whatever with like 20 girls and like just, you know, doing whatever. But like, I love that they took it and ran with a real creative idea, just did something special and unique. So love that. But I also, while we're on this, you know, type of like old English stuff, I got to give a shout out to my boy Mitchell. Back in high school, he had to do an assignment. I remember, I don't think my class did, I think it was just his. And they had to like take a song and put it into like old English type, you know, language. And he did Look at Me Now by Chris Brown and them. And it was Look at Doth Now. So that was just funny. And like when I first saw the video, that's immediately what I thought of. And I don't think I even told him that I thought of that yet. So hopefully he's listening to this and he hears that, because I got a chuckle out of that. That was pretty funny.
Definitely. But so, I mean, just to backtrack a little bit there, you said the videos of them just driving around in the Lambo. I fucking love the Pop Smoke and Travis Scott Gotti video where they're just riding around in the Lambo. That just hits for me. Obviously, you know, maybe it's just a song, but that's one I had to bring up, of course, just because I love the coloring they did in that. Everything is like a nighttime cam. It was pretty. I love that video.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like the whole Jack Boys rollout, they had like a really good aesthetic, and like the coloring on everything was just great. Perfect. And it all like matched. So yeah, I love that. But talking about the rolling around stuff, that makes me think of the Reminder video by The Weeknd. In that video, it's just like they're just like hanging out like at different locations basically, but like one shot, it's The Weeknd like sitting on a car and ASAP Rocky's driving it. Drake's in the shot. I think there's like French Montana, like Young Thug. I think, like, I don't even remember, honestly. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there's just like so many random cameos, and like Drake especially was cool because, you know, like there hadn't been like an OVO XO thing in a minute, and so that was great to see.
Definitely good to see. I love a good music video. I think everybody loves a good music video. So
facts. I think we had to make a video about, or an episode about music videos one day. I think that'll be a banger.
There's like one super iconic music video I remember, like specifically with you. So I'd be open to that idea.
Okay, I'm excited. We'll have to get into that. So I don't want to know though. I want to save for the episode. So we'll get to it later. But anyway, speaking of toxic kings, we can't talk about toxicity and not talk about Brent Faiyaz. Brent Faiyaz posted screenshots saying that the recording for his project was finished and it was ready for the post-production side of things. I cannot wait for this Brent Faiyaz project. I've been ready forever. And since Fuck the World dropped, I've been ready for this next Brent Faiyaz project. So it looks like the wait's almost over.
Definitely. I'm super excited for this one as well. I haven't listened to Brent too much recently, but once he drops, you know, that's just going to be a real toxic summer.
Absolutely.
Not a real cruel summer. It's going to be a real toxic summer.
Facts. I always wonder, like, when I'm like thinking about my Spotify Wrapped for the year and stuff, like, I think it's obviously an advantage to like have a whole year with something for it to like get towards the top. But like, if that Brent Faiyaz hits late, like, you know, if it comes out in July, even, it could make top Spotify Wrapped for me. Like, I'm going to be listening all the time if it hits like the way I think it will. So yeah, I just love thinking about like how long you have with something to make it, you know, reach the top, and how much you listen to it, or how much you have to listen to it for it to get that high. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this could be one project. Obviously there's going to be some more coming later in the year that could do the same thing, but I think this Brent one's going to be special.
Definitely. We'll have to just see what we get. I mean, hopefully we get a single or, you know, something soon here.
Facts. Well, I think that just about wraps up this week's episode. As always, though, you know, we like to do our fan questions from the audience. Send us some at Second Avenue Pod on Instagram. We got a couple, but you know, we're running a little low, so we're going to save some for next week. We have a really good one for next week, though. Next week's going to be a big episode, Kendrick Lamar album review. And then, you know, we got the good fan question. What is your dream collab? We don't want to get into that one this week. We want to save that for next week because I feel like that's going to be a good discussion. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Make sure to go show some love to the playlist. We're dropping the playlist on Spotify at Second Avenue Podcast and Elijah's personal Apple Music. So if you're interested, make sure to listen to that. Follow us. Show it some love.
Definitely. They'll be out probably when you guys hear, or they'll definitely be out when you guys hear this. So show some love. I'll take my Apple Music off private and go to public, so you guys can bang that if you don't want to follow me. But if you're there, you may as well follow me. So
all right, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.